CHICKEN. Use the code chicken in the shop. CHICKEN. Use the code.
Guys, the Chickens here bringing you another Beach video. In today's video, guys, we have the Season 13 Tech Tree Guide. All the tips and tricks you're going to need to help you out to get off to a decent start in Season 13. Because, man, there's a lot of options here. There's a lot of ways to go. So, guys, you find these tips help you out. I do appreciate if you use the code chicken in the shop. It does help support me and the channel and make it worth doing to get up at, 3 o'clock in the morning on a Monday morning and do warships for several hours. But it's fun, and let's get into it. So, alright, starting off on the tech tree. Important things. Always max your landing craft. We know that by now. You're going to want clone riflemen and heavies, and you're going to want them both at max level. That's going to be the meta. It's going to revolve around these two troops and different pairings and things like that. We'll get into that in a minute. Let's just go over the tech tree for right now. And then we have troop damage. That's going to be important to get. Building health is important to get. Basically, the path you want to go off the start, guys, is clone, troop damage, heavy, building health, shock bomb, and then the 4th engine. Obviously, you can pick up some other stuff. You have some more keys. I did go back eventually and get mines. Mines are very important. Defenses are very important in Season 13, guys. Do not ignore them. Don't skip them. Make sure that you have most of the important defenses before going up to the next level. Flamethrowers, get them, max them. You need them. Cannons, not really the most important, but okay, so after we get the 3rd engine, there's a couple different paths to go to the 4th ER, and let's talk about those. So the first one is, now, all of these are centered around getting brick. If you want to be competitive, you want to get brick, and you want to get her as soon as possible. So, in order to do that, the cheapest way to get brick, it might not be the cheapest, but the most effective way to get brick is to go this path that I went. So cannon, Zuka, building damage. You want the hot pot out of these 3 prototypes. We'll talk about that in a sec. Troop damage, and then you want to get your brick. So then from there, the next important thing is going to be to get shock mines. Troop health is good. You want to get it, but it's not a priority for this second. So let's talk about these prototypes. We have the Simo, the hot pot, and the grappler. Everyone's running the hot pot. I've seen a couple grapplers. They're pointless for what people are using. There's no sense really using anything other than the hot pot because it's going to damage your troops. It's going to damage the heavies. It's going to pop the clone riflemen. And an important thing to note about the clone riflemen is as soon as they die, they do respawn, but the respawn riflemen do not follow flares. So when it comes down to a base race and you're flaring engine rooms, that can be an issue. They do tons of damage though, so they're an important troop to have. And that's basically the plan for right now. Now there's other paths as well. You could go Dr. Vitamin. I've seen a little bit of Dr. Vitamin in Season 13 so far. He can be okay. I mean, he throws out his speed burst with the heavies, which is nice to have. But if you do get him, players are typically just using him on one boat. I don't think it's the end of the world. It's a little bit janky in my opinion, but if it has been working for some, so I don't want to write him off completely. Yeah, so yeah, let's just get into some attacks, guys, and just go over kind of the different. Actually, so the base design first. 3 engines. This is probably where you guys are at, or getting close to. So the idea here is, just make it as hard as possible to go from engine to engine to engine. You're going to face things like heavy rush with brick and heavy rush or heavy and rifle, clone rifle split drop, which kind of turns into a rush. We'll go into that in a minute. But this base, if you want to take a screenshot, has been pretty okay. In terms of times, you want to be like 320. 320 is good. You can still win at 317, but try to stay around the 320 area if you can. Alright, so this base, here's what we're going to do. We're going to go, 3 clone rifle in the bottom. So here's kind of how we want to do this split drop. We want to go 1, 2, 3 cloners, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 heavies with brick, and we're going to free clear a little bit. And let's go like this. And there we go. Okay, 340. And then we're just going to wait for the rifles to kill this engine room here. And then we're going to flare up to the top with the heavies. And let's shock this hot pot. And 329, 328. That's a solid time. That's a solid time. So that's kind of how it, like, if the base is set up like that, that's kind of how you want to do your split drops. We'll see what happens here, but okay, there we go. So we got him by like almost 10 seconds. So let's take a look at what the Bagel Kegel was doing against us. So he dropped all of his troops together. Now that's a bit of an issue, just in terms of time. You know, you'll get through the base fine. This guy also does have brick. You see, he's using the same types of troops. Now, here's what this guy's doing. I'll show you guys this. So, the riflemen that are cloned that die don't follow flares. So this is actually really important to see here. So, he's flaring all of his second wind troops to this engine. And when that engine's at about half health, basically as soon as he starts taking damage, he's moving on to the next engine room. The reason is, the clone riflemen stay targeted onto this engine. They're not going to move. They're not going to follow this flare. You see, even right now, they're shooting the flamethrower when the rest of them are going up to the top. So that's another thing you can try. Personally, I haven't found it works, you know, hugely well for me, but it's definitely going to save you time in terms of, you know, going from engine to engine really quickly. So let's get into another one here, guys. Let's see what else we can uncover. Sometimes all heavies with brick is the best way to go. This one I think we'll do probably more of the same. Now, shock mines. Shock mines are a game changer. Shock mines kind of change everything. But let's try this again. So we'll go 1, 2, 3, and then all the heavies up top like this. And we'll get a nice early battle orders going here in just a second. Right there. Let's try to take these dudes down. And, okay, they should turn here. They should turn. There we go. And wait for the hot pot to come up. Shock that. And you see all my troops? You see how much damage that those shock mines are doing? Like, look how much that stupid mine slowed us up. Compared to the last battle, like almost 11 seconds. Shock mines make a huge difference. So we'll see how we were able to hold up here. Against Mr. Addy, too. Did he fizzle? 3-7. There we go. So, that's basically how we're looking at Season 13 so far right now, guys. I would say this is kind of the... this is probably the best path that you could take. I mean, there's other paths. You could go up top, you know, or you could grab Troop Health first. Or you could go Vitamin, Troop Health, Hot Pot. Because this does connect to everything else that you want to get. Zookas you don't need. Cannons you're going to need eventually, so you might as well go and grab them now. It was just kind of a toss-up of... The Zookas were 24 keys. Dr. Vitamin's 22 keys, so it was kind of a toss-up of where you want to waste your keys, essentially, because I'm not going to be using either of those troops very much. So, yeah, that was basically the idea there. And, yeah, so... At this point, what I'm going to do next, now that we have Brick, I might upgrade her once or twice just because she has very low health right now and she dies pretty easily. But yeah, what I'm going to do, I'm going to go back, I'm going to get Troop Health, I'm going to max out building damage, Troop Health, and I think I'm also going to max out cannons and unlock and max out boom cannons. Oh, sorry, no, well, obviously first get shock mines, so we're going to go to GBE, to shock mine, and then probably Troop Health, and then we're going to get the rest of the stuff. Then we're going to fill out all the defenses. So this season, it's a little bit more catered towards defense than it is offense. So we want to make sure that that we have like a pretty solid base before we go up to the next engine room. Because if you find that you're skipping ahead and you're going straight to the next engine, you're probably going to have a bit harder of a time than previous seasons, just because there's you know, it seems to be a little bit more of a defensive meta kind of this season. So going forward, looking forward from that, you know, we got our artillery right around the corner, so that's probably going to come into the meta. But we'll see. But guys, if nothing else, heavies, clone riflemen, brick, and shock mines. Those are the 4 most important upgrades that we're going to be looking at this season. So I hope that gets you guys started. I hope it puts you on the right track. Gunboat, you know, we do need GBE, so I'm probably going to max this out a little bit later. I never maxed out off the start of the season just because, you know, I want to make sure I have enough keys for, or sorry, enough upgrade tokens for whatever's kind of turning out to be the meta. But yeah, guys, there it is. There's your season 13 tech tree starter guide. I hope that helps you out. If it does, make sure to subscribe to the channel. We're going to be covering everything that is season 13 in Warships, and please consider using the code chicken in the shop if you're getting instant training for it this season. I do appreciate it, guys. As always, thank you so much for watching. That is going to wrap up the video today. Make sure to leave a like if you found it interesting, entertaining, or informative, and we'll see you next one, guys. Chicken out. Back.